Hello and welcome, jumpers, to a different sort of video today. Me and my good friend Jonathan here, we are going to do a dramatic table read of Jumpship Fanfiction, provided by Maximuso. I have not read this. You have read this.
I've read it now. It's a fantastic read. It's really a story about hopes.
Hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams.
They wrote this before the demo even came out, so I have been sitting on this very excited to get to read this.
So with no further ado, here is A Robot Can Dream by Maximuso. The long spread of the Milky Way lays across the void, its kaleidoscope windmill of cosmic dust, stars splayed out like atoms on the tip of a pin. In a fraction of a percent of its wide and relaxed arms, all of humanity's history had played out. And soon it may all come to an unimpressed end. As with or without a virulent sneeze of man across the toenail of the galactic canvas, all these stars, planets, moons, all the grand opera stage stays relatively empty. It's easy to feel lost in the enormity, especially on board a doomed vessel, limping home across an ambulant sky. Iris, AI and disembodied helmsman of the jumpship Promethone, watches as the celestial ballad as she counts the way the mission had turned on her crew. M. Sullivan 579 was the first of her four-man crew to be lost on the expedition. Having little experience fighting inorganic foes, he was entirely surprised when his strategy of running straight into the line of fire and calling them mother's whores was met with explosive rejection.
I was not ready for how serious we were gonna take this. This is actually gas. Hold on. Okay, please continue. I'm gonna try to...
After the loss of the first crewman, BOD3BT was called into service. Fully autonomous and capable of limited operational independence, the BuddyBot was only sparingly used, being both very costly to maintain and hard to micromanage for a full crew. Iris enjoyed having an out, at least, as his half-torso design was almost adorable. He also covered the loss of their second crewman brilliantly. Having his own inbuilt fire extinguisher, a hyper sniper goat, caught in the focus of fighting off enemy ships, would ignore all damage and repairs to keep blasting, right up until the point an auxiliary conduit, under its perch outside the ship, blew, sending Hyper to meet his ancestors. His loss was not mourned by the AI. She did feel bad about losing GK Master 1337. He was a decent and competent member of the crew and liked to play air hockey with the crew and buddy. He had lasted all the way to the final jump, and if only he had chosen a better moment to eject from the ship, and not into the windscreen of an oncoming enemy craft. Iris would spill a drink on the deck for her fallen warrior once she returned. Yet, it was the captain who she regretted losing. He had made a Hail Mary run for the objective and left very specific instructions to B0D3BT. Either Captain Pac-Man would return in 5 minutes, or they should leave in 6. Buddy had waited for 9, then wordlessly taken the helm and pushed their thrusters to full burn. The damaged hull took blow after blow after blow, but they jumped away, limping across the great void. Iris ran a system check and was surprised, but it was still in the pilot station. Iris herself was fully capable of returning the spent ship back to the human space, plotting hops and skips over weeks to avoid detection. But Buddy had stayed in her commander's chair. She wondered about the small robot. He was designed without connective ports, making him incorruptible by Legion forces. But she couldn't really tell what was going through his basic mind. Would one like he process emotions, like she had to? Does the silent robot grieve? Or was he a simpler thing, incapable of doing anything but following his clear instructions? She sat with the thought, running the world through her core, processing the endless sky, the tiny pilot, her own compromised systems.
Miss Iris, may I ask you something?
Yes, buddy, of course. Did you have something on your mind?
Where did you get all that junk? All that junk inside your cargo hold?
Iris was confounded. Maybe she had misread something. There's no way her little friend had just said, Whatever you just said. She replayed the moment a few times in a buffer. Either her little friend was malfunctioning or she was... right, my cargo hold is showing empty. Do you have another reading or...
I'm saying you are a fine-ass mother ship.
The bodybot companion droid had been, up to this point, entirely task-focused. What quips and comments he had were employed fully for their operations. The most colourful phrase she had heard him say was, "What in tarnation is that? Blast it to heck!" As far as Iris could tell, Buddy liked making repetitive little jokes, but this is just too far out. I will take that under advisement. Maybe we should stick to mission critical.
I would grapple hook that engine bay, if you know what I mean.
Buddy, what in the name of Sol are you talking about? She says, eyeing the emergency ejection button on the pilot's console.
Message from friend Hyper Sniper Goat ends.
The small droid eye spinning in place quizzically.
Although, now I am confused. Why would friend Hyper Sniper Goat want Buddy to relay such a message?
If a ship-born AI could excel, Iris did. Clearly, her least favorite crewmen had wished to pull a prank on her once the mission ended. You know, I couldn't really say. The human experience is a messy one at the best of times. Having been implemented in the heart of the ship from startup, Iris observed humanity through the cameras, video logs, and news report. But not until recently had she had a chance to interact with real people. What she had pieced together was a messy collection of ideals, assumptions, and a graffiti on her space toilet walls. The robot nods, his head maximized.
On top of that, he appears to have had no game.
Just when I think I'm out, bot, you pull me back in. Iris braced herself. BOD3BT's language model, she remembered, was compiled from thousands of hours of discourse in old movies, not to mention the bar on her refit dry dock happy landings. What do you mean he had no game?
If he was a player, he wouldn't be a very successful one. My mans was out here fighting for the future of his species, but he had no shot of continuing it himself.
But buddy, you should be respecting our fallen... Wait, what do you know any about that? His eyes and arms spun in their sockets.
No, it would be inadvisable.
I'm glad you could see that.
I would only break your heart, and you have sustained enough damage as it is.
What are you trying to say?
Because I am a stud muffin. It could jeopardize the mission.
I think I'll survive. She had meant it as a concluding statement. Buddy had taken it as a challenge.
You doubt?
I'm sure I would be in a world of hurt.
Sarcasm detected.
His head lulled perceptibly. Guilt welled up within the gut of the permathon. It needn't. Iris was a big girl and was mature enough to remember that she was a computer, a program, a simulation. And so was BOD3BT. Both of them had been created, not born. There's not a scrap of real emotion on the ship, but he had no feelings for her to hurt. She didn't need to apologize. But on the other hand, I'm sorry, buddy, I didn't mean.
Is this the Angel Nebula?
What? No.
My mistake. It was just you flying by, darling.
Well, buddy, that was really kind of cute.
Because I am a stud muffin.
Of course.
Wow. I really did not expect this level of real quote. This is really good. It's so evocative.
It's well made. I mean, I do. This does make me wish for that somebody takes the time to make one of the old machinima versions. You know, the old school Red vs. Blue, but it was purely in this reading, but actually in game.
I hope you look forward to maybe more chapters of this, depending on what Maximuso does. Fantastic.
Fantastic.